Pilgrimage is one of the pillars of Islam, the beauty of divine service for the whole life, the end of actions, the perfection of Islam, and the foundation of religion. On the day of pilgrimage, God revealed the following verse: "Today I have perfected your religion for you and made my gifts perfect on you, and I am pleased to give you Islam as a religion." The Prophet said regarding it, "He who dies without making pilgrimage dies willingly as a Jew or a Christian." So how important is that divine service without which religion does not become perfect, and one becomes a Jew or a Christian or a misguided one? It will therefore be discussed in 3 sections. Section 1: Excellence of pilgrimage. God says, "Proclaim Hajj among the people, so that they may come to you on foot or upon every camel coming from every distant place." Qatada said, "God ordered Hazrat Abraham, our prophet, and all chosen servants to proclaim Hajj among their people. Then he proclaimed, 'O people, God created a house, make pilgrimage for it.' God says that they may witness benefits for them. It means trade and rewards in the next world. A certain sage said about it, 'By Lord of the Kaaba, he has forgiven them.' God mentions the devil as saying, 'I shall sit for them in your straight path.' Some say that the devil will be sitting in the paths towards Mecca to prevent the people from making pilgrimage. The Prophet said, 'He who makes pilgrimage without doing any obscene deed and without making quarrel comes out of his sins as on the day when his mother gave birth to him.' The Prophet said, 'The devil does not become so much humiliated, dishonored, and disgraced as on the day of Arafat. The cause is that he sees God's blessings descending and his forgiveness of great sins.' The Prophet said, 'There is some sins out of sins which are not forgiven except without waiting at Arafat.' The Prophet said, 'If a man comes out of his house with the intention of making pilgrimage or umrah, one reward will be written for him for the rewards of one pilgrimage and one umrah up to the resurrection day. He who dies at Mecca or Medina will not be presented for account, and no account will be taken from him, and he will be said, 'Enter paradise.' The Prophet said, 'There is no rewards except paradise for an accepted Hajj.' The Prophet said, 'Those who make pilgrimage and umrah are guests and neighbors of God. If they pray, it is accepted from them. If they seek forgiveness, God forgives them. If they invoke, their invocation is accepted. If they intercede, it is accepted.' There is in another hadith, 'He whose sins are greatest is a person who thinks at Arafat that God has not forgiven his sins.' The Prophet said, 120 blessings descend every day on this Kaaba, 60 for those who make tawaf, 40 for those who pray, and 20 for those who visit the Kaaba. There is in hadith, 'Make much tawaf because it is such a great thing that you will find it in your book of deeds on the resurrection day, and for which people will envy you.' For this reason, to make tawaf at first before Hajj and Umrah is commendable. There is in hadith, 'He who makes tawaf for a week barefooted and bare bodies will get the reward of setting free a slave. Who makes tawaf in rains for a week, his past sins are forgiven.' A certain sage said, 'If the Arafat day and the Jummah day occur on the same day, every person at Arafat is forgiven, and that is the best day in the world.' On that day the farewell pilgrimage of the Holy Prophet took place, and on that day the verse was revealed, 'Today I have perfected for you your religion, bestowed my favors completely on you, and chosen for you Islam as a religion.' The people of the book said, 'If the verse would have been revealed upon us, we would have observed it as a day of festival.' Hazrat Omar said, 'I bear witness that this verse was revealed on the Prophet on the day of 2 festivals, the day of Arafat and Jummah day, and he was then waiting at Arafat.' The Prophet said, 'Forgive one who has come for pilgrimage, O God, forgive one who seeks forgiveness for a pilgrim.' Hazrat Omar said, 'A pilgrim is forgiven, and also the man for whom he seeks forgiveness in Zilhajj, Muharram, Safar, or the first part of Rabiul Awwal.' It was the custom of the ancient sages that they broadcasted the stories of warriors, welcomed the pilgrims, kissed on their foreheads, sought blessings from them, and they hastened to do these things before they would commit sins. Excellence of Mecca and Kaaba. The Prophet said, 'God promised that every year 6 lakhs people will make pilgrimage. If their number becomes less, God will fill the number by angels.' The Kaaba will be presented on the resurrection day, adorned with ornaments like a newly wedded bride, and those who made pilgrimage will be busy in covering it with cloth. The Kaaba will proceed towards paradise till it enters it, and they will also enter paradise. There is in hadith, the black stone is a jewel out of the jewels of paradise. It will be raised upon the resurrection day. It will have 2 eyes and 1 tongue with which it will speak. It will bear witness for everyone who kissed it and testified its truth. The Prophet used to kiss it much. It was narrated that Hazrat Omar once made prostration over it. He was then making tawaf riding, and he placed his staff in his hand on it and kissed one end of it. He said once after kissing it, "I know certainly that you are a mere piece of stone and you cannot do any benefit or harm. Had I not seen the Prophet kissing you, I would never kissed you." Then he wept and raised his voice high. Then he said to Hazrat Ali behind him, "O Abul Hassan, take advice and intercede. Your prayer will be accepted." Hazrat Ali said, "O Commander of the Faithful, it has got benefits and harms." He asked, "In what way?" He said, "When God took promise from the descendants of Adam, he wrote a scroll on them and impressed it on this stone. It will bear witness for those who fulfilled their promise and against the infidels for infidelity." Hassan Basri said, "One day's fast therein is equal to 1,00,000 fast, and charity of 1 dirham is equal to that of 1,00,000 dirhams. Thus its reward increases to 1,00,000. There is in Hadith, 1 Umrah during Ramzan is like pilgrimage with me." He said, "I shall be the first man who will burst out of his grave. Then the inhabitants of Jannatul Baqi will resurrect with me, then the Meccans, and then the people between the two Harams, Mecca and Medina." There is in Hadith that when Adam performed all rites of pilgrimage, the angels saw him and said, "O Adam, your Hajj has been accepted. We built the Kaaba 2,000 years before you." There is in Hadith that God looks to the inmates of the world every night. He looks first to the inhabitants of Mecca, and out of them, first to the inhabitants of the Kaaba. He forgives one whom he sees making tawaf, and forgives one whom he sees standing towards the Kaaba, and forgives one whom he sees praying in the Kaaba. Friend of God said, "The sun does not set in unless an Abdal makes tawaf of the Kaaba, and it does not set in unless a friend of God makes its tawaf. When this sort of tawaf will end, it will be the cause of being lifted away from the world. Then the people will see in the morning that it has been lifted away, and they will find no sign therein." Prophet said, "One prayer in my mosque brings rewards 1,000 times more than the prayer in other mosques, except the mosque of Mecca." This is true in case of all good deeds done here. After Medina, there is the place of Baitul Muqaddas, wherein a prayer brings rewards 500 times more than that in other mosques. This is the case with all other good deeds. The Prophet said, "If one prayer in the mosque of Medina is equal to 10,000 prayers, one prayer in Baitul Muqaddas is equal to 1,000 prayers, and one prayer in the mosque of Mecca is equal to 1,00,000 prayers." The Prophet said, "If a man bears hardships of Medina, I shall be his intercessor on the resurrection day." The Prophet said, "If a man can die at Medina, let him do it, because if a man dies at Medina, I shall be his intercessor on the resurrection day." After these three places, all places are equal except the frontiers of Islam, as guarding the frontiers of Islam is necessary from the enemies, and their excellence is great. For this reason, the Prophet said, "Don't tie your camel except in 3 mosques, the mosque of the Kaaba, the mosque of mine, and the mosque of Baitul Muqaddas." The Prophet said, "I had prohibited you before to visit graves, but now I say visit graves, but don't say Hazran, I gave it up." The Prophet said, "All places belong to God, and all are servants of God. Live in the place you like and praise God." There is in Hadith, if a man gets blessings in a thing, he should stick to it. If a man gets a source of income, he should not change it till that source of income is changed. Saeed Bujubair, Ibrahim Naki, Muzahid, and Taus said, "If we knew that a certain man died without making Hajj, we did not say funeral prayer for him." Hazrat Ibn Abbas said, "If a man dies without Hajj and without paying zakat, he will pray for return to the world." Then he read this verse, "O my Lord, send me again that I may do good deeds which I left undone." 5 compulsory duties of Hajj: to make ihram, to make tawaf, to make sa'i, to wait at Arafat, and then to shave hairs. These are also compulsory in Umrah, except waiting at Arafat. 6 wajib of Hajj: to make ihram at the appointed place, to throw pebbles at Mina, to wait at Arafat till sunset, to spend the night at Muzdalifah, to stay at Mina, and to make tawaf of the Kaaba at the time of farewell. Modes of Hajj. Hajj can be performed in 3 modes: Ifrad, Qiran, and Tamattu. The mode of making pilgrimage by Ifrad is the best. Ifrad is a kind of pilgrimage in which ihram is made with the sole intention of Hajj and not Umrah, and ihram is broken after the necessary duties are performed. Then ihram is made for Umrah. In the Quran Hajj, ihram is made for both Hajj and Umrah at the same time. In Tamattu Hajj, first ihram is made for Hajj before it actually takes place. Ihram is made at the fixed place, and then the pilgrim comes to Mecca and breaks it. Just before Hajj, he again makes ihram and breaks it after Hajj, and thereafter makes tawaf. When there is no ihram, everything can be enjoyed, even sexual intercourse with wife. There are some conditions in Tamattu Hajj: not to be included within the people of Kaaba, to make Umrah before Hajj, to make Umrah in the months of pilgrimage, not to go to a distance for making ihram for Hajj, to make Hajj and Umrah by the same person. It is compulsory for such a pilgrim to sacrifice a goat. If he cannot do it, he will fast before sacrifice for 3 days separately or unitedly, and when he returns home, he will fast for 7 days in the same manner. Prohibited things in Hajj and Umrah. During Hajj and Umrah, it is prohibited to put on shirt, trouser, sock, turban. A wearing apparel without stitch and sandal may be used. One should not cover his head, as head is included within ihram. A woman can wear stitched cloth, but her face will remain uncovered. He shall not use scents of any kind. He shall shave the hairs of head and not manicure nails. He shall not have sexual intercourse before the end of ihram. It is unlawful to kiss, embrace, or to marry or get married during ihram. It is unlawful to sacrifice game of land except game of sea. Section 2. 8 duties of Hajj from first to last. There are 8 duties when one comes out of his house till he makes ihram. He shall make tawbah, pay compensation to the oppressed and clear off his debts, and give expenses of maintenance for his family members till his return. He shall return the trusts entrusted to him and take legally earned money sufficient for his journey expenses till his return, along with the additional sum for the poor, the destitute, and the weak. He shall spend something in charity before he starts. He shall seek a religious companion. He will seek your good and help you. He will remind you if you forget. Take farewell from relatives, friends, and neighbors, and seek their blessings, and give your blessings to them by saying, I am entrusting to God your religion and your trust, and the end of your actions. The Prophet used to pray for the man who wished to perform Hajj. May God keep you in his protection. May he give you provision of God fear. May he forgive your sins. And may he keep your face towards good wherever you are. Pray 2 rakats of prayer before starting from home with Fatiha and Surah Kafirun in the first rakat and Surah Ikhlas in the second rakat. When you finish your prayer, raise your 2 hands and seek blessings with this dua: O God, you are my friend in this journey. You are my successor for my properties. Children and friends, save me and them from all calamities. O God, I seek from you in this journey virtues, God, fear and actions pleasing to you. O God, make the world narrow for me. Make my journey easy and give me provision of health of body, religion, and safety of properties, and take us for pilgrimage of your house and for visiting the grave of your Prophet Muhammad. O God, I seek refuge to you from the troubles of journey, from change of conditions, and from the evil looks of the family members and friends. O God, give us and them the blessings of your nearness. Don't deprive us and them of your blessing, and don't change your kindness on us and on them. When you will come near the door of your house, say, in the name of God, I rely on God, there is no power and might except in God. Lord, I seek refuge to thee that I may not be misguided, that I may not misguide anybody, that I may not slip, or that I may not cause anybody to slip, that I may not be oppressed, or that I may not oppress anybody, that nobody may ascribe ignorance to me, nor I may ascribe ignorance to anybody. I seek refuge to thee from all these matters. When you get on board of your conveyance, say in the name of God and with God. God is greatest, trust on God, the great, the mighty. There is no power and no might except in God. Whatever God wills comes into being. God has made this conveyance subservient to us. We shall have to return to our Lord. When you sit on the conveyance, recite 7 times, all praise is due to God who showed me path for it. We would not have found guidance if God did not show us guidance. O God, thou art our carrier on backs, and thou art helper in all our affairs. Most of your journey should be at night. The Prophet said, you should travel at night, as the earth becomes narrow at night and not at day. Sleep little during the night that you may be helper in journey. When you reach a high place, say, O God, Lord of 7 heavens and that which casts shade, Lord of 7 earths and that which reduces it, Lord of the devil and those whom they misguide, Lord of air and on what it blows upon, Lord of sea and what it blows upon, I seek good of the inhabitants of this place. I seek refuge to thee from their evils. When you land at any place, pray 2 rakats. You should not travel during daytime. Don't walk alone and don't go out of your company and keep a watch at the time of your sleep at night. Spread out your hands if you sleep at the early part of night. If you sleep by the latter part of night, place your head on the palm of your hand. Thus the prophet used to sleep in his journey in order to guard against the loss of a prayer. The loss of a prayer is more severe than the loss of a pilgrimage. When you get on a high place on the way, recite takbir thrice and then recite, O God, thy honor is above all honors, thine is all praise and all glory. When you get down, recite tasbih. Duties from Mikat to the entry into Mecca. Take bath with the intention of making ihram. Comb your hairs and head, manicure your nails, clip your mustache, and do everything as described in the chapter on purity and cleanliness. Put on 2 pieces of unsewn ihram cloth. White cloth is dearest to God. Use scent in body and cloth. Take journey if you walk on foot. Now make niyat of either ifrad, karan, or tamatu hajj, and say talbiyah, present to thee, O God, present to thee, there is no partner for thee. All praise and gifts are for thee, there is no partner for thee. When you enter into ihram, recite the following. O God, I make niyat for pilgrimage. O God, make it easy for me. Help me in fulfilling its duties. Accept it from me. There are other invocations also. It is commendable to recite talbiyah in a loud voice at the time of ascending, descending, riding on conveyance. It is as follows, O God, I am present to thee, I am present to thee, there is no partner for thee. All praise, gifts, and lordship are for thee. Thou hast got no partner. Whenever anything astonished the Prophet, he used to say, Labbaik, the life of the next world is true life. Duties after entry into Mecca till Tawaf, take bath to enter Mecca. When you enter the first boundary of Haram outside Mecca, then recite, O God, this is thy sacred sanctuary, thy safe place. So save my blood, my hairs, and my body from hell. Save me from thy chastisement on the day thou wilt resurrect thy servants, and include me in the company of thy friends and those subservient to thee. Enter Mecca by the high place of Mecca, and come out of it by its low place. When you enter Mecca and come near the Kaaba, recite the following. There is no deity but God. God is greatest. O God, thou art peace, from thee peace, and thou abode is the abode of peace. Blessed art thou, O possessor of glory and honor. O God, this is thy house. Thou hast made is sacred and honorable. So increase its honor, respect, and awe. O God, open for me the doors of thy mercy and admit me in thy paradise and give me refuge from the accursed devil. When you enter the Kaaba, enter it through the door of Banu Shaiba and recite, in the name of God, with God, from God, towards God, in the way of God, and upon the religion of the Apostle of God. When you will come near the Kaaba, recite, O God, accept my repentance, forgive my faults, reduce my burden. All praise is due to God who has taken me to his sacred house, who has made it the refuge of men and their safe place and a guide to the universe. O God, I am thy servant. This is thy city. This is thy sanctuary, and this is thy house. I am present to thee. I beseech thy mercy, and I inform thee of the invocation of one afflicted. I seek thy forgiveness and thy pleasure. Then touch the black stone by your right hand. Kiss it and recite, O God, I have fulfilled thy trust and my promise. Bear witness of my fulfillment. Fourth, duty Tawaf. Observe 7 rules in Tawaf. Observe the conditions of prayer in Tawaf. In other words, be pure from all sorts of uncleanliness and cover your private parts. Tawaf is like prayer, except that conversation is allowed therein. It shall be done with ihram dress as prescribed. Then wait at the black stone, which is the preliminary point of circling the Kaaba. Recite at the start of Tawaf, in the name of God, God is greatest. O God, I began this circling after putting faith in thee, testifying to the truth of thy book, fulfilling promise with thee, and following the ways of thy apostle Muhammad. After crossing the black stone, recite when you reach the door of the Kaaba, O God, this house is thine, this sanctuary is thine, this safe place is thine, and this place is the place of refuge from hell to thee. Thus, there are recitations at every point round the Kaaba as prescribed, and you will go round the Kaaba 7 times. After finishing Tawaf, pray 2 rakats at Maqam Ibrahim, following the Prophet, and make invocations. The Prophet said, he who makes Tawaf of the Kaaba 7 times and then prays 2 rakats will get the rewards of setting free a slave. Fifth duty, Sa'i, running between Safa and Marwa. After finishing Tawaf, take to running between the two hillocks, Safa and Marwa 7 times and recite the following before doing it. There is no deity but He. There is no partner for Him. His is the kingdom, and His is all praise. He giveth life and taketh life, and He is eternal without death. All good is in His hands, and He is powerful over all things. There is no deity but God. He is single. He has proved true His promise, helped His servant, and honored His army, and routed the allies. There is no deity but God, being sincere to Him in worship, though the polytheists dislike it. Then, at the beginning of running, recite, O Lord, forgive and show mercy and pardon what Thou knowest. Thou art majestic and honorable. O God, give us good in this world and good in the hereafter, and save us from hell. 6th duty. Waiting at Arafat. The waiting time at Arafat is from noon of the 9th Zilhajj to the early dawn of the 10th Zilhajj. After reaching Mina, recite the following. O God, this is Mina. Bestow grace on me as Thou hast bestowed grace here on Thy friend and those who were obedient to Thee. Reaching at Arafat. Fix your tent and wait there with a great penitent mind, and recite invocations and supplications as much as possible, and seek forgiveness and mercy of God. 7th duty. Other institutions of Hajj. At sunrise the next day, start from Arafat and reach Muzdalifah and recite the following. O God, this is Muzdalifah. People of different tongues have gathered here seeking different necessary things from Thee. Make me one of those who have sought from Thee, and Thou hast granted them. Then pray Maghrib and Isha together with 1 azan and 2 akamats. Stay here for 1 night, as it is included within the institution of Hajj. Next day, start from Mina and reach the place of stone throwing and throw 7 stones there as prescribed. Then sacrifice an animal and then shave your head. Then return to Mecca and make tawaf of the Kaaba. Then return to Mina again. 8th and 9th duties. Umrah, tawaf of farewell. He who intends to make Umrah before or after Hajj, let him take bath, put on ihram dress, and make ihram from its appointed place. When you enter Mecca, go round the Kaaba 7 times, reciting the prescribed invocations, and run between Safa and Marwa. Then it ends with the shaving of head. After finishing all rites of Hajj and Umrah, make tawaf of the Kaaba 7 times before you start for home, and seek forgiveness from God and express gratefulness for getting opportunity of making Hajj and Umrah. 10th duty. Visit to Medina. The Prophet said, "Whose visits my grave after my death has met me, as it were, during my lifetime." He also said, "He who does not visit me in spite of having means oppresses me." He also said, "Whose does not come to me except with the object of visiting me? It is duty of God that I become his intercessor." He also said, "He who wishes to visit Medina should send much blessings upon the Prophet on his way to Medina. When the wall and trees of Medina fall to his eyes, he will recite, 'O God, this is the sanctuary of Thy apostle. So make it a shield for saving me from hell, and a safe place from punishment and bad account.' When you enter Medina, recite the following, in the name of God and upon the religion of the Apostle of God. O Lord, enter me a true entry, and take me out a true taking out, and send for me from Thee a strong helper." Then pray 2 rakats after entering the mosque, and then wait near the face of the Holy Prophet, and send profuse durood and blessings on him as prescribed. The Prophet said, "The place between my grave and pulpit is one of the gardens of paradise, and my pulpit is upon my fountain." Then visit Jannatul Baqi, the place of burials of the martyrs and of Hazrats Osman, Hassan Jain al-Abedin, Imam Baqi, Imam Jafar Sadiq, Hazrat Fatima. Then observe prayer at the Quba Mosque, as the Prophet said, "He who comes out of his house and comes to the Mosque of Quba and says prayer there, the rewards of an Umrah are written for him." The Prophet said, "He who can die at Medina should do it, as I shall be an intercessor for one who dies at Medina." Then visit the grave of the Prophet when leaving Medina. Section 3. 10 secret things of Hajj. The money for expense will be lawful. Hands will be free from trades and commerce, and all thoughts will be centered round one God, and the mind will rest satisfied with the zikr of God and its signs. There is in Hadith, in the latter days, the people will go for Hajj, but their object will be for. The rulers will go to increase their power, the rich for trade and commerce, the poor for begging, and the learned for name and fame. These things can be earned, but if Hajj is performed with these objects, no reward is acquired for Hajj. It will go out of the limit of Hajj, especially when one goes as a representative for Hajj. The Prophet said, God will admit 3 persons in paradise for one Hajj, one who makes death instruction of doing Hajj, one who follows this custom, and one who performs it on behalf of his brother. God gives the world on account of religion, but he does not give religion on account of the world. The Prophet said, he who makes jihad in the way of God is like the mother of Moses. She took remuneration for suckling her son. To receive remuneration for Hajj by representation in like the receipt of remuneration of the mother of Moses, and there is no fault in it. But it will not be legal to perform Hajj as an agent with the object of getting remuneration. Rather, to accept remuneration with the object of performing Hajj is legal as the mother of Moses did. Don't help the enemies of God by keeping the properties in trust. Some chief of Mecca and some Sarkars of Arabia remain busy in keeping the people away from the path of Hajj. To entrust them with properties is to help oppression. Try to save yourselves from their hands, and if you are unable, it is better to return home than to help oppressors. This is an innovation. Take sufficient money and provision with you so that you may not feel difficulty for charity. Take the middle course for expenditure. Save yourself from taking delicious food and drink. There is no misuse in excessive charity. There is no good in excessive expense, and there is no excessive expense in good things. A certain wise man said, to give provisions in the path of Hajj is considered as expense in the way of God. Hazrat ibn Omar said, to have good provision in journey is honor. He used to say, the best is the pilgrimage in which sincere intention is perfect. Expense is most pure and sure faith is best. The Prophet said, there is no reward for an accepted Hajj except paradise. The Prophet was asked, O Apostle of God, what is an accepted Hajj? He said, the pilgrimage in which good words are uttered and food is given. Give up indecent actions, evil actions, quarrels, and disputes. This is the injunction of the Quran. Indecent actions mean indecent and useless talks, including such talks with females, talks of intercourse with them as they increase desire of intercourse. All things which give encouragement to do prohibited things are also prohibited. Evil actions mean such actions which take away from the religion of God. Quarrels and disputes give rise to hatred and envy. Sufyan said, he who talks indecent words destroys his Hajj. Quarrel is opposed to good words, and the Prophet termed good words as good deeds of Hajj. Don't inflict trouble on anybody and adopt good conduct. As journey discloses the character and conduct of a man, it is therefore named Safa. It is better to perform Hajj by walking on foot. Abdullah Ba instructed his sons at the time of his death, O my children, perform Hajj by walking on foot, as for each step of such a pilgrim there is written 700 rewards out of the rewards of Haram. He was questioned, what are the rewards of Haram? He said, one good deed brings 1,00,000 rewards. It is better to walk from Mecca to Arafat and from Arafat to Mina. Perfect Hajj is one in which niyat is taken when one comes out of his house for ihram and to walk on foot. God says, make Hajj and Umrah perfect for God. Hazrats Omar, Ali, and Ibn Masud explained his verse in the above way, don't ride without keeping the balance of burden behind and keep the things separate if possible. This gives relief to the camel. The Prophet made pilgrimage riding on conveyance, and even he made tawaf riding, so that the people might follow him in his action. The Prophet said, learn your institutions from me. Keep your countenance unsmooth, hairs disheveled, body laden with dust, indifferent to pride and attachment for the world, as the Prophet enjoined his followers to remain then, without beauty and with disheveled hairs. The Prophet said, a pilgrim is dressed disheveled, and his body is dust-laden. God says, look to the visitors of my house. They have come to me with hairs disheveled and with body dust-laden from every distant part of hills. God says, then perform the institutions of Hajj. This means to shave hairs, to clip mustaches, and to manicure nails. Hazrat Omar sent instructions to his generals. Put on old clothes and habituate yourselves to bear hardships. Show kindness to the riding animals and don't take anything on them beyond their strength. Sleeping over their backs gives them trouble and gives a sense of heaviness to them. The friends of God did not sleep on the backs of animals. The Prophet said, don't make the backs of your animals seats, and to descend from their backs morning and evening is commendable as it gives rest to the animals. Abu Darda said to his camel at the time of his death, O camel, don't dispute with me near your Lord, as I did not burden you with load beyond your strength. Once a man said to the sage Ibn al-Mubarak, "I am giving this letter of mine with you. You will take it to the destination." He said, "I will ask the owner of the camel about it, as I took hire of this camel." Thus he feared to carry it on account of God fear and piety. Seek nearness of God by sacrificing an animal. Try to sacrifice an animal which is strong and stout. If sacrifice is compulsory, don't eat its meat, and if optional, you may eat its meat. God says, "Whose honor the signs of God." This is explained by saying to sacrifice stout and strong animal. The ancient people did not press for price of three things: animals of pilgrimage, setting free of slaves, and animals of sacrifice, as the best of three things is that which is best in price and most valuable to the seller. The object is not the increase in meat, but to purify from the guilt of miserliness and to adorn it for God with honor, as its flesh and blood will not reach God, but He will accept from you God fear. The Prophet was asked, "How is Hajj accepted?" He said, "By A's and Saz. To proclaim talbiyah loudly is called A, and to sacrifice a camel is called Saz." The Prophet said, "Nothing is dearer to God on the day of sacrifice out of the actions of men than the sacrifice of an animal. It will come on the resurrection day with its hoof and horns, and its blood falls in a place near God before it falls on the ground. So purify your soul by sacrifice." There is in Hadith, "There is reward for every hair of the sacrificed animal and for every drop of blood, and it will be weighed near God. So give good news." The Prophet said, "Sacrifice a good animal, as it will be your carrier on the resurrection day, to spend with a cheerful mind. Bear with pleasure sacrifice of the loss that is caused in the matter of properties or the occurrence of any calamity, because it is a proof of the acceptance of Hajj." The troubles and calamities on the way to pilgrimage is like expense in the way of God, and the expense of a dirham at that time is equal to the expense of 700 dirhams, that is the reward of bearing hardships in the way of jihad. Nothing is spoiled near God of any trouble which is forborne, and every loss which is sustained. It is said that if one gives up sins and bad company and takes up good company and gives up assembly of useless talks and takes to the assemblies of zikr, they are the signs of acceptance of Hajj. Significance of internal accents of Hajj knowledge. The first thing of Hajj is to know everything in connection with Hajj. Know, O dear readers, that you will not be able to reach God till you can control your passions and low desires, restrain yourself from all enjoyments and pleasure, make short your necessities and work only for the sake of God. For this reason the friends of God of yore used to live far away from the localities of men and lived in lonely places in caves of mountains and hills, so that their love for God might be deep. God says about them in the Quran, "Because there are hermits and those who renounce the work among them, and they are not proud." When they began to live contrary to it, and gave up loneliness for divine service and mixed with the people to fulfill their low desires, God sent the Apostle Muhammad to reawaken the paths of the next world and to call them to the ways of the prophets. On being questioned by the religious people about the life of a hermit, the Prophet said, "God gave us in lieu thereof jihad and takbir in every elevated place." The Prophet said, "God gave this gift for this people and made Hajj as their monkery, honored the ancient house as His house, fixed it as the object of desire of the people, made its surrounding place pure to show honor to the house, made Arafat an opening space as the precincts of His house, and honored the place by prohibiting hunting and cutting off trees therein. He made it as the darbar of the greatest emperor. Every visitor comes to the darbar from every distant and inaccessible place, disheveled in hairs and laden with dust and in the most humble spirit. He knows that no house can encompass God and no town can cover Him, and yet He does it to make His divine service and His allegiance and obedience perfect. For this reason, throwing of stones at Mina, running between Safa and Marwa and other institutions do not come within understanding or seem good. But by these acts, full servitude is expressed. The object of the payment of zakat is understood. The object of fasting to restrain sexual passion and low desires is understood. The object of prayer is also understood, but no satisfactory reason is ostensibly found in the throwing of stones, running between Safa and Marwa, nor they come within understanding. It is, however, true that true servitude is a separate thing, and to serve God means that one should conduct himself according to the order of God, whether it contains any meaning or not. The object of obeying orders is nothing but to serve God. It is an act of wisdom to obey God in places where intellect cannot enter and which it cannot comprehend. Servitude to God is expressed fully when you understand a thing or not. For this reason, the Prophet said regarding Hajj, "I consider Hajj thus a veritable truth, servitude in reality and slavery of the highest order." He did not say this with regard to prayer and other divine services. So the institutions which cannot be understood by intellect are the perfect divine services for making the heart pure, because to act contrary to nature and to return from habits is the real servitude in slavery. Desire for Hajj. The Kaaba is the house of God. The meaning of coming to it is to see God there. He who desires to visit the Kaaba in the world should have his object not to be deprived of it. His object should be his look to the countenance of God in his permanent abode. This earthly eye has got no power to have a glimpse of the divine light, nor can it bear the brilliance of his light. The light of eye in the next world will be permanent and will be free from the causes of destruction and change, and then it will be for glimpse of the Lord. But one can be fit to earn it by not visiting his house. So desire to meet him will lead you to the causes of visit without doubt and die on the way. It will help to meet him being his guest, as God says. If a man goes out of his house and makes emigration to God and his apostle and then death overtakes him, his reward is upon God. When you reach the Miqat or the fixed place for Ihram, remember all the great events when you will leave the world up to the resurrection day. When you remember the danger of crossing the way, remember then the questions of Munkar and Nakir. If you see the ferocious beasts on the way, remember the biting of snakes in graves. Talbiyah at Miqat, know that Talbiyah means to respond to this call of God. Remember him between hope and fear, and depend on the mercy of God. Imam Sufyan Sauri said that Imam Jainal Abedin, son of Hazrat Hussein, made pilgrimage. When he made Ihram, his face became changed and he had no strength to say Labbaik. He was asked, "Why are you not uttering Labbaik?" He said, "I fear lest I may be said, 'You have no Labbaik in fortune.'" When he uttered Labbaik, he suddenly fell in swoon and remained long in that condition. As a result, he could not wait at Arafat. Abu Sulayman Darani did not utter Labbaik even after walking a mile. Then he fell down senseless. When he recovered from his swoon, he said, "O Ahmad, woe to you! I fear lest I may be said, 'There is no Labbaik in fortune for you.'" Remember at the time when you utter Labbaik the condition of the people on the day of congregation. Entry into Mecca. Remember at the time when you enter Mecca that you have reached safely in the sacred place of God, and hope from God that you will be safe from punishment on account of your entry into Mecca. When you look at the Kaaba, remember its glory and hope to meet its owner. Tawaf of Kaaba is like prayer. Remember then that your tawaf is like the tawaf of the near angles who are making round the throne. Don't think that the object of your tawaf is the tawaf of your body round the house, but its object is the tawaf of your mind with the remembrance of God. Know that an honorable tawaf is the tawaf of mind before God. The Kaaba is the outward darbar of a king. He who is not seen by external eye appears there. Soul is a thing of the spiritual world, as body is of the material world. God is in the unseen world. This visible world leads to the world unseen. This is for those for whom God opened this door. Think that the Kaaba is the exact prototype of the Baitul Mamur in heaven. The angels make tawaf of Baitul Mamur and the people of the Kaaba. Kissing. When you kiss the black stone, think that it is a sign of allegiance and kiss his hand. Be firm in your will that you are fulfilling your promise. The prophet said, "The black stone is the right hand of God in the world." As a man handshakes with his brother, so God also handshakes with the people by means of the black stone. Sa'i between Safa and Marwa. Sa'i between these two hillocks in expectation of getting his glimpse is just as a man goes forward and backward in getting a glimpse of his emperor. Think that Safa is the scale of good deeds and Marwa of bad deeds. By running between these two hillocks, think which of the scales becomes heavy. The weight in Arafat. After seeing the vast concourse of people of different climes and tongues, you will remember the case of the great congregation on the resurrection day, that each people will gather there with their respective prophet, and each people will gather except intercession of their prophet, and remain busy to know whether his intercession was accepted or not. When you will remember this, keep your mind engaged in the remembrance of God. Throwing of stones. Obey God's command by throwing stones and show sincerely and honestly your servitude to God even though it does not come to your understanding, because blind obedience of a slave to his master gains the love of the master. Then intend to follow the deeds of Abraham, who drove away the devil by throwing stones at him when the latter wanted to misguide him, and not to sacrifice his dearest son Ismail in obedience to God's command. The meaning of Hajj is to obey God's commands without argument and without exercising intellect. Sacrifice of animal. Sacrifice in a mass scale brings the people near God. For this reason, the animal for sacrifice should be stout and strong. Hope that in lieu of every limb of the sacrificed animal, God will save your every limb from hellfire. The more it is stout and strong, the more you will be free from hellfire. Visiting Medina. When your sight will fall on the wall of the city of Medina, remember that God selected this city for his prophet and took him there. This is the place of the promulgation of God's compulsory ordinance and the ways of the prophet. He fought with the enemies here and preached Islam up to his death. God established the religion through the successors of the prophet. Then think of the footsteps of the prophet in the city and take steps with care and honor. The prophet said, God will present before me many people. They will say, O Muhammad, O Muhammad. I will say, O Lord, they are my companions. He will say, you don't know what evil deeds they have done after you? I will say, then be off from me. If you have not followed the prophet, you will be far away from him. Still, you will hope for the mercy of God. When you will reach the mosque, remember that God selected the place for the prophet and the earliest Muslims. Enter it in fear and hope. When Wais Karni entered the mosque of Medina and began to wait at the door, he said, this is the grave of the holy prophet. At once he fell in swoon. When he regained his senses, he said, take me out of this. I have got no taste in the place where the prophet has been buried. Meeting with the prophet, meet with him as if he is alive and that you are standing before him. Don't go very near his grave, as you would not have gone to him if he were alive. Don't touch his grave and don't kiss it, and know that God knows your mind, your standing and your salutation. The prophet said, God appointed an angel in his grave, who sends salam to him out of his followers, he will take it to him. This has been said with regard to that person who will not be present before his grave. How will it be in case of that man who left his home and family and relatives and journeyed in difficult places and hills and came to visit the prophet? The prophet said, if a man sends 1 darud on me, God will send 10 daruds on him. Then come to the pulpit of the apostle of God and think of his standing thereon and his sermons to his followers. When it will be finished, think whether your Hajj has been accepted or not, as he does not accept Hajj of one whom he does not love.